This next video will quickly walk through how to access some of the service data in these sensors and kind of how we write that information. It maybe could have been lumped into the last one, but it'll fit the service data just fine. So I just want to jump back to our IO-Link master that's connected via our web browser and look at the information that the KTS can be sending. We see this is some service data that we're getting, but if we take a look back at if we take a look back at the KTS information, there's data map really. There's a lot more information that the KTS is providing that we're not seeing in that web browser right away. So if we want to see something like sensitivity, we actually have to pull that. We have to request it. So this is request data, it's service data, it doesn't come automatically like the process data does. We can go back to our web browser and look at the index of sensitivity. So sensitivity is under index 73. We'll go to index 73, subindex 0. We'll request that information. Comes back as 03. So we would convert the 03 from hex to decimal. So we'll go hex 03 to decimal. Comes back also as 3. So then when we look back at our data map for the KTS, sensitivity 3 is set to auto. If we wanted to change that, we can. Let's give it a shot. Make sure we want to we'll go to fine. So we'll try it to 0. So we'll go to 73. We'll write it this time. Write in a 0. We'll write that information to the sensor. It says OK, it wrote it. Now let's read 73. See that it changed to 0. There, 0, 0, it changed. So now our sensitivity is set to fine. We could change it back to auto if we would like. We'll write it. Write it as 03, which was our auto. Double check that. Auto is number 3. Perfect. We'll write it. It says OK. And then we'll read it one more time. And now it's back to 03. So we've got our sensitivity set at auto. So this is how you would change each of these parameters. If you wanted to change a set point, something like that, you can do that. So let's look at one of these that has a sub-index and see if one of them is interesting enough to pull some information from. So we could look at the profile here. That's not something that many of our customers are using, so I'm not going to spend a lot of time on that. We could look at our set point 1 and set point 2, the way that they're configured. You'll notice right now it's a percent between mark and background. It comes in at 50%, and set point 2 isn't used. It's a 0, so it's not very interesting to look at either. Teach mode, teach in pin 2. You can see the way that it's actually set to be taught in 116. We'll go back to 116. Read that information. See as it comes through. Comes through 0101. So this is subindex 1 and subindex 2. Looking back to our KTS. Subindex 1, subindex 2. 0101 is pretty easy. It's set to 2-point teach. It's a 1. Our decimal value is a 1. It's set to 2-point teach. Teach mode pin 5 is the same thing, 2-point teach. Okay, so that's how we get our sub-index values coming from the sensor.